Live chat. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming, hanging out with my live. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm talking to myself at the moment because we just started, but this is for the people that watch it on replay. You guys usually just hear me going do 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 do, but not. Holy cow! Hi, Belle. Come here. Come here. Come here. You come up here. Come here. Oh goodness. Hello, bulldog. Hi, bulldog. What you doing? You decided to come upstairs and hang out with Dad? Oh, thank you. Thanks, bulldog. Oh, thank you. You tired? You look sleepy. Oh, I knew it. I knew you were sleepy. Are you tired? Are you tired? You want to go night-night? Good night. You're going to take afternoon nap? That's all you got to do anyway. You're just a bulldog. Hi, bulldog. Oh, you come up here to see me? Oh, you just want me to hold you while you lay your head back? Go to sleep? All right. Hey, what's up, Jeff? What's up, Scott? What's up, Linz? What's up, Super? What's up, Sled? What's up, Walter? Yeah, sometimes they'll notify you. They get like 20% of the audience they notify. What's up, Ohio, Wavy, Chip? Dude, the Magic Candy Mountain. The lemon, like that's the Pheno that I would have liked better, but the cotton candy Pheno just makes more sense. Plus, the whole thing turns really like bright pink. So, I mean, it's hard to not go with, when you have something called Magic Candy Mountain, it's hard not to go with the one that smells like cotton candy and turns bright pink. You know what I mean? Oh, today we're repping the Sleeping Giant shirt. Shout out Artful for help with the name. It's a bulldoggy. She's tired. She's getting ready to fall asleep. See how she got her head laid back over me? She came up to me and wanted me to pick her up. So that she likes to sleep like this. She like lays over the top of my arm. Her head's like going like this. What up, WR, Mac, 4G63? What up, RLP? Doty, Cato, Steve, Steelers, Nick, Always Baked, Ricky. Oh, you heard Ricky and you jumped up? She's a Ricky fan. Bella is a fan of Ricky. She's like, oh shit, is Ricky GT coming? He's too loud for me. Sleepy time. Daniel, Stan, Andrew, Ozzy, Emil, Cato. I said Cato, you got me twice. Pamela, Chip, Monique. I like that shield, Monique. It's a good looking Spartan shield you got there. Daniel, Krusty, Jersey, Eric. Hey, Rick. Rick, how satisfying was it watching that football game yesterday after what they did to the Bills? Felt like closure for the season for me. Then Josh beat Lamar for the MVP. It was not a bad day. Wasn't a bad weekend. Thinking about purchasing an Enviral cleanse. I see some reviews about their latest model. Any thoughts, dude? I have an Enviral cleanse model that's like 5 years old. The thing's amazing. As long as you turn it up. When you turn it down, of course, it doesn't work as well. But I advertised for them for a year for free just because the product works so well. That's how good it is. Bella's a beauty. She's sleepy right now. See, this is how she sleeps. She wants me to hold her, and then she like falls over my arm. See how my arm's right there? This is how she likes to sleep. So I can tell when she gets tired because she comes up to me and wants me to hold her, and this is what she wants me to do. So I have to hold her like this. She's like, why are you moving? This is how she wants to lay. There you go, Belle. So get that light out of my face. Scoot back up. She likes to be held when she sleeps. And she just lays over like this. I love the game, but I'm a Steelers fan. Hey, GTA, what's up, Moochie? Yeah, I was really happy for some of those Eagles players. I would have liked, like, I'm a big Bernard Hopkins fan, or DeAndre Hopkins fan, and I would have liked for him to get a Super Bowl, but I mean, at least he got to play in one. But I'm super happy for Jalen Hurts. All right. What? What are you doing, bulldog? You want to go lay down by the back of the computer? Let me put you down. Yeah. Go lay under there. It's warm. Come on. Oh, she's looking at me very sad. Oh, good morning, everyone. Is it morning still? Like 12:30 on the East Coast. I think it's afternoon. We'll let it slide. Yeah, but the Enviral cleanse works really, really well. And I say that, I say that. I'm somebody that's not getting paid, for one, to say it. Number two is they're expensive units. And if you hear me say something expensive works, plus I'm not getting paid to say it, it works. I am pretty sure that I have a discount code on one of my old videos from, like, I get zero payment from that discount code, but I'm pretty sure it was like 20% off. If you go back and watch one of my 420 videos from like 2 or 3 years ago, I think 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure if you put that code in, it will still give you 20% off the unit, which for something that expensive is not a small amount of money. So you might want to, if you're getting ready to go buy one, you might want to go look that old code up from one of the 420 lives. I think it was 3 years ago, it's 420, maybe 2. I think it was 3 years ago, though. And I'm pretty sure somebody said the other day that code still got them 20% off, so you might want to check it out. What'd you miss? Nothing. We're just getting started. I was just waiting for people to get in here, so I'm just we were bullshitting and talking about I had Bella. She sleeps just like my pup. Lazy dog. Then she snores and sneezes. Yeah, she doesn't sneeze too much when she's sleeping, but when she's awake, she sneezes all the whole time. Yeah, I was super happy for the Eagles. Like, there's a bunch of guys on there that I really wanted to see get a Super Bowl win. Hey, what's up, Artful? But at the same time, I would have really liked to see D-Hop get a ring. That would have been awesome. But super happy for Jalen Hurts to get his ring. They needed that. That takes a lot of pressure. I think Jalen Hurts will become a way better quarterback now that he's kind of got that off of his back, like being able to get to the Super Bowl and get a win. I would be asleep right now. Go to bed. You can watch this later. Need help on why I get powdery mildew. Now my room is very low humidity because of the heat in winter, but I have to leave it on. I'm in my basement with ranges of the tent, 25, 30%. Lights are on. Just increase your fan. Just increase your fan speed, air movement, and it'll help a lot if you exhaust the air that's in the tent out of the room instead of into the same room. And then you can fix the powdery mildew just with water and milk. Yeah, they are definitely pricey. Those Enviral cleanse are very pricey, but they work. I literally advertised for them for a year for free just because I liked it so much. And then I guess they saw my videos. They're like, hey, maybe we should pay this guy. But then it took forever. I mean, forever to get paid from him. That's why I never did any collabs with him again. Because I mean, we're talking, it was like 4 months before I got paid for it. That's one of the reasons I don't deal with too many sponsors. I want you to do all the work and then paying the ass to get paid. It's not worth it. I'd rather just sit here and bullshit and talk with all you guys. GT, I missed the drop last time on VIP. What I do? Just send me a message on the grow page or on the group page. Hey, what up, Eric? I was asleep. I woke up, can't go back to sleep, then got a notification. You're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go hang out with GT. Oh, you won't hurt anything doing that, Jet, or just some guy. That'll be fun. I can see Eagle Stadium from my bedroom window. The fireworks after they won last night were crazy. Oh, I bet. I didn't watch any of like the after of what was going on in Philly, but I can only imagine it was crazy. Hell, half the workday is over. I'm getting paid to watch GT now, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Wish I got paid to watch GT. I mean, I kind of do when I edit all the videos, I guess. Oh, has anybody used Hot Shot Snow Pest Strips in the tent for the entire grow and dry and had any complications? Oh man, yeah, you have to ask everybody else that. I don't have to use them. My buddy had only put them up for like a week and then he got rid of them. So I don't know. I think there is people that use them the whole time. WR, I think WR might. You got any insight into that, W? I think he said he keeps them up the whole time. Fat Javes and Blueberry Spacewalk to start today. That's how you're going to end the day. I'm in Trim Trail, Mimosa Gushers. That's awesome. I got to go downstairs in a little bit and spray my JCK. I got JCK's crossing with Gorilla Glue number 4 downstairs right now that I'm doing. I don't have to spray it though. I just really need to pollinate them because it's a regular run. So I got that going on. And then what else I got to do? We've got a bunch of strawberry rock candy, sour grape strawberry rock sour grape rock candy down there that I need to put into solo cups. I just transplanted a bunch of strawberry mimosa and blue dream into 3-gallon pots in the veg. That could be a cool cross. I do have I gotta do some trimming. Ugh, I fucking hate trimming. I got a whole tent down there that I need to trim. What else? Oh, I have to set up. I have to rearrange that 4x4. That's what I got to do. I am getting paid also. No more hot shot now that I stopped drowning my plants. Nice. My blueberry spacewalk girls are huge. Yeah, those things are an animal. The blueberry spacewalk is just phenomenal. It's one of those ones where it's a more difficult grow. I don't ever recommend the blueberry spacewalk for newer people, but if you've got some decent grows under your belt, you're not going to be sitting there constantly bashing the plant over the top of the head. The end result is fantastic. I don't need them, but I do keep it in my big room, 12x12, but not in my tent. Yeah, but if it's in the room, that's like the long room, but it's in there because I think those things cover 1,300 square feet per thing. My blueberry spacewalk smells like blueberry muffins. That's cool. Mine was really like blueberry waffles. Was like the closest thing I could relate it to. Is what it smelled exactly like blueberry waffles. Seems to be okay. Okay, there you go. Been really down for a while. Can't grow until we buy our next home. But will not buy a forever home without a full basement to convert to grow space. Nice. Hey, no notification. I'm still here. Yeah, dude, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there was a bunch of people that don't usually get notifications that got a notification for this one. They're so random with how they send out notifications. Even if you turn on like the all notification button, they're still super random with it. I've had 5 plants in veg for 4 to 4.5 months. That's a long time to be in veg, but hey, if you got the space for it, do it. GT, with your experience, do seeds or clones are the way to find good genetics? Well, here's the thing. When you're pheno hunting with seeds. As soon as you find the pheno that you want, you take that plant and you turn it into a mother, and then you take your clones from that mother. Once you have the pheno isolated that you want, you're like, oh, this is the one I want. So then you take that mother, take clones from it, and then you take those clones, bring them up, pair them together. Now you get to start the pheno hunt all over again because they're going to have different pheno expressions. But we're into generation 2. Now we're going to grow those up. We're going to find which pheno we want again. Another pheno hunt. You have to pheno hunt everything every time. Every time you do a new generation, refine your pheno, take clones from it, self it back to each other from those clones, and you repeat that process over and over again. That's why first generation stuff doesn't cost as much as somebody that's taken something all the way to generation 8. Because if you're in generation 8, which is, completely stable, lockdown pheno, that person has spent close to 10 years perfecting that line. That's why if you see something, it's like, oh, this is an F8. That guy's really put some time into this. It's usually worth it to pay more for that kind of stuff because, the guy's literally spent a decade to get it to that point. And the amount of work that he's put back in it, it's usually worth it. But is anyone else lagging? Yeah, you're probably going to lag. We're on the regular line today. We've been doing it on the phone using the cellular one, but I figured we would give it a try since it was the middle of the afternoon, and hopefully it would work better. But if it's not, we'll have to go back to the phone until I can get a hard line run for this, because the broadcasting is not working for some reason anymore on this router, which is a super expensive router, so it sucks. You should release the Blueberry Spacewalk Gen 2. It'll be a while before I do that. Because the newer people, if you're going to treat them bad, they don't respond well to it. And if you're a new grower, you're going to treat them bad. So I don't like that people having that kind of experience with it. So I probably won't release Blueberry Spacewalk till I get it to at least generation 3. So, you're talking a year and a half, 2 years before I'll put out Blueberry Spacewalk again. So if you got some, keep them. Keep them on. Can you use Great White, then recharge 2 weeks later and keep alternating between the two? Yeah, you sure can. There's not really any reason to, but it's not going to hurt anything, or there's really no advantage to it either. They're both the same product. It's just that the recharge has things like blackstrap molasses and some micronutrients in there. But every other week, you can switch them back and forth. You can use one, you can use the other. It doesn't matter. They achieve the same process. The recharge just have some beneficial micronutrients and stuff in there on top of it, and it's got blackstrap molasses in there. Who's out here with F8s? It's pretty few and far between, but if you go to some of the bigger places, you can find it. The trick is that you can tell if they're really F8s or not by the time you get them to the 8th generation. The seeds should almost, the S word should almost, the bird food should almost act like clones, where you can plant all 8 of them and they all come up identical. They look identical, they smell identical, they taste identical, the effects are identical. So that's kind of the difference maker. Like if you plant them and you've got stuff growing at different rates, everything looks different, the terpene profiles smell different, it's not really an F8. So that's one of the nice parts. Like when you go from clone, everything looks identical. Whenever you grow from an F8 or generation 8 that's been locked down like that, everything should look identical, just like you were doing it from clone. Gonna hit that bong right now. That sounds fantastic. I got this one right here. That looks cool. I don't even want to mess with it. It's so cool looking. I like all the detail work inside the glass. Look at that. Oh, I use Great White for transplant and dusting roots. Yeah, it works great. That's what I use it. Not right now. I'm using recharge. So whenever I transplant, I use it to dust the bottom of the pot. I use it for dusting the roots and then transplant it in. If I have Great White, which I do also right now, but I'm using the recharge right now at the moment. They both work great, guys. Don't get confused by marketing. They both work great. You can use either one of them and you will have fantastic results. I don't care if you use Mycos. I don't care if you use Great White. I don't care if you use Recharge. Whichever one you like. Which one the packaging looks the prettiest for you. You're going to have, the biggest thing is that you added it to your grow. Whether you use whichever brand you want. The point was you got it in there. Whichever one you think looks the coolest or sounds the coolest or has the best micronutrient profile with mycorrhiza available to it, whichever one you feel you like the best. As long as you put it in there, it'll work just fine. Hey, what's up, Hi again? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't followed Hi again, head over to their YouTube channel, head over to their Instagram page. They get deleted just like we do over there. Make sure you give them a follow. How many flowering spots should we aim for per plant when scrogging? First time scrogging. How many flowering spots? So you mean like how many different branches you should put in a square? You can put as many branches as you want in there. I try to keep it to like 1 or 2 though. I guess it also depends on the size of the squares because those scrog nets come in a bunch of different sizes. You can get them in like 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, and I think they have 6-inch. The size squares I use usually depends on the size of the tent I'm in. So if I'm flowering in a 2x4, I'll generally go for like the 3x3 squares. Just because if you do 6x6s, you have hardly any squares to put stuff into, and the gaps are way wider. So in the smaller tents, I'll use the smaller squares, and then if I'm in like a 5x5 or a 4x8, generally I'm in like the 5-inch squares. The 6 inches are really, really big. So I tend not to use them very often. But the trick is the net, you need to concentrate less on how many you're putting in there. As long as you have something in there, it's fine. You don't want to blank spaces in it, but your biggest thing is you want to use the scrog net to control your canopy growth is the main thing you're aiming for. You don't want some of your garden up this high and some of your garden up this high, and it's all staggered, because now you've got plants at this height getting a certain amount of light, and you got plants down here getting a certain amount of light, and nothing is balanced. Your goal with the scrog net is to keep the plant even, because what happens is whenever you have the scrog net up and you go through the stretch, which is weeks 1 through 3 of flower, week 1 is really a transition week, so they don't do a whole lot of stretching. But weeks 2 or 3, the plants generally can double in size, sometimes more depending on the plant, sometimes a little bit less. But on average, they double in size. So what happens is these plants race up towards the light. And you'll see this in gardens where they didn't use a scrog net, or their training really wasn't on top of it. And you have these plants that they grow all the way up to the top. And what happens is whenever you let them do this, the nodal spacing in between, going up the stalks or the branches, the nodal spacing gets too far apart. And one of the nice part is whenever you're using this canopy or using the scrog net to keep everything low, it keeps the nodal spacing right in line, because what you're really looking for is like spacer. You got to sight all the way down the branch, because what happens if they stretch too far apart, even if it's just a little bit too far apart, the buds that are growing on the branch, they never run into each other. And if they never run into each other, they never run out of that vertical growth. So they never get that bulk where they grow out. So you'll have some nice like golf ball stuff all up and down your branch. And if you ever run into this where you're like, I can't get just these monster colas like me, like GT has every fucking crow. This guy has monster colas, the whole tent. Whereas I get cola, golf ball. It's because you let that nodal spacing get a little bit too far apart, even if it's just a little bit. Because if this bud down here never runs into the bottom of this bud here, they never get this explosive outward growth, because they still have vertical growth that they could go through. But as soon as this one right here runs into the bottom of the bud above it, this crazy thing happens with them where they just bulk and they just go, because they can't vertically grow anymore, so they grow out. And they're compensating by growing out big and fat, because that bud's goal is to catch pollen. Well, if it can't go this way, it only has one way to expand, and that's going to be out. And since everything is running into each other, they all just start space. They just go, they grow out. And that's how you keep that canopy nice and uniform and controlled. And that's how you'll get, you've all seen my gardens. It's just every single square, there's a giant cola in every single one, edge to edge, front to back. It's 2 foot thick. That's why all the gardens look the same. I still to this day believe weeks 2 and 3 of flower are the most important weeks of the entire grow. And if you don't control that canopy during the stretch and you let them just get a little bit out of whack, you never get the colas like that. And as long as you keep them under control during those 2 weeks, your chances of getting those big giant colas, you know, like there's a lot of times that like I feel like I could break a window with the colas because they're just so they're so fat and they look like baseball bats, you know, and it's every single time. Oh, what's going on? Hey, what's up, Miles? How's the offshore sport fishing going? Dude, I want to go just hook into like some sailfish or some mahi-mahi. I fucking love mahi-mahi. It's like one of my favorite fish to eat. Tastes like steak. My coast works awesome too. Yeah, they all work awesome. They work great. All of it works great. I just watched your video again about bottoming the roots. That's pretty cool. Going to do that this run. I do that every single time I transplant. But you have to remember that these plants are mirrors of themselves. So whatever the top does, the bottom follows. Whatever the bottom does, the top follows. Whenever you bottom the roots, whenever you transplant, it is the exact same thing that happens whenever you top the plant. So whenever we top the plant, we go across and we pinch off all the tops. The plant redirects growth hormone down branch, and then those branches grow out. Well, whenever we're transplanting, we get a chance to work with the roots. So you'll see, like I did that video, I'll chop off like 2 or 3 inches of the bottom of the pot of soil. I'll just slice right through it. The exact same thing happens whenever you bottom the roots. It redirects the growth hormone up, and then the roots grow out. So every time I go into a new pot, and you'll see me, I'll like grab a razor knife, and you'll see me just, I'll slice up the whole bottom of the pot or the whole sides of the pot, and then I'll take a knife and I'll cut off the whole bottom. And then what happens is whenever you put it into the new soil, since it's redirecting the growth hormone back up those up the roots of the branches of the roots, whenever you put it in the new soil and it's redirected the growth hormone back up the plant, it takes and it explodes out into all the new soil. And that's one of those things where you walk in the next day or the next few days is when you walk in, you're like, holy shit, what the hell just happened to this plant? It's because of that prep work you did before you put it in a new soil, and you're using that in conjunction with putting them, since you're transplanting them and bottoming the plant, it works out really well. What size holes should the net have? It depends on the size of the tent you're putting them in. 2x4s, 2x2, 3x3 tents. I lean towards the small ones, like the 3-inch. Or you can even make your own, where you just do like the PVC that goes around it and put a bunch of screws in it. Then you can just lace it up with some string. You're not late. You're not that late. We just started like 20 minutes ago. But 3-inch works really well. On the big tents, when I've got really, really big plants, I'll do the 5-inch. Yeah, FH generally will not be cheap. They are generally pricey. But you got to remember, somebody put a decade worth of work into those. Still a new favorite drink right now. Pellegrino, pomegranate and orange, water. Yeah, homemade trellis with hip tie. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Awesome. Good advice. Can you keep branches close together, like 3 branches per 3x3 trellis square? That's a little close. If you're going to make big colas, 3 of them into a little 3-inch square. Generally, if I'm running the 3-inch squares, I try to only pull 1 branch through there, just because generally the colas do get kind of big. But if you're in like those big, like 5 or 6-inch squares, no problem putting like 2 of them in there. GT, what do you do with the root that you cut off? We throw it outside in the raised beds. Is there any way to slow down the growth of the internodal spacing? So the biggest way you can control that is with your light. So if you're, I don't know if I even want to talk about this. Because if a new person hears this, they're going to turn their light up, and then it's going to cook their plant, and then they're going to, I would have to decide what kind of grower you are, whether I would want to tell you this or not. Because if you're a new grower and you're still learning, and I tell you this, you're going to do way more damage with it than good. But if you're an experienced grower trying to slow it down, then you would have probably figured this out on your own. So I don't think I want to tell. This channel is mainly focused on new growers, so I don't know if I really want to say that, because I don't want somebody. I think it'll do more damage. It's like whenever I did a video on PK boosters, and the amount of dead gardens I had in my inbox 2 days later, and I told people, I said, do not do this if you are new. Do not even bother with these things, because if you use too much, you're going to kill everything. The amount of completely brown gardens I had in my inbox for the next week. Don't say it, GT. Yeah. GT is the king of hand gestures, 100%. Hand gestures and dry erase boards. I tell new growers that they should be growing with T5s all the time. I think T5 light is the best veg light, and if you have a strong enough one, the best. I think T5 light is the best light to do it. One branch, got it. Yeah, with the smaller one, stay to one branch. I never get notifications for your show on YouTube. What the hell? Yeah, that's pretty normal. So generally, they give about 20%, I think, of my subscriber base notifications if I'm lucky, but it's a random 20%. So. Soil is Strawberry Fields. So I like Strawberry Fields. Great flower one. I have 3 autos and a 2x4 with Strawberry Field or SF Spider Farmer SE450. Currently at day 50. Have my lights 50% hitting 500 pp DFD. Probably 18 inches above the scene. Run CO2. What would most important could push up? What would be the most important? Could push up the PPFD. Now you can probably turn your lights up a touch, but you're already pretty close to them. The biggest thing is, what is the plant? If the plant is not asking for more light, you don't give it more light. So if you're towards the later part of your day and the plant's not praying, there is zero reason to turn your light up. Remember, it's about what the plant wants, not what you want. And especially being that close to them already, if you turn it up too high, you burn all your terpene profiles off. So you may end up with more weight, but you end up with shittier bud. Personally, I'll take the better bud. I mean, but if you're just going for weight, like this is one of the reasons that, like, cultivation facilities, you never walked into a dispensary and walked out and was like, oh my God, this is the best shit I've ever had. It's because they don't grow for top shelf. They grow for weight, because it's the only metric they get paid on is weight. So they'll do stuff like they turn their lights up, which can get you more weight, but you lose a lot of your flavor and terpene profiles because they use too much light to do it. So it just depends on what you want. If you're somebody that just blows through a bunch of weight, month to month, then you can run it that way. But I don't know. I would rather have more top shelf. Bud if it costs me 15% of my yield, but I got way better bud. I don't know. That would be a personal decision for you. We would have to make, like, yeah, I don't really give a shit. I want just the most amount of weight. Then I would just run the light up higher. And then with the light up higher, you can give it more food, especially since you're running CO2, you can up everything. Hey, GT, rejoin the VIP. Can't wait. I'm excited for this drop. Yeah, guys, the drop, if you guys didn't know, we have the collab coming up with Dark Horse. The merch store is going live since it's a collab, this one. So these ones are public. I let everybody know when the t-shirts are happening. So we have a collab coming up with Dark Horse. We have Ragnarok drops this Friday. The Ragnarok merch is pre-sale. So there is 3 brand new designs that are coming out. So make sure you come hang out with us over at WTTGT. And I don't know. It's going to go live this Friday. It'll be live for a week, and then the store will close, and those designs will never be available again. I make my designs one time, and that's it. I don't ever make them again. You get stuff like that. How long do you keep the clones in the clone dome? Depends. Usually like 2 to 3 weeks. Depends on what I got available. Sometimes it's 3 weeks. Sometimes it's only 2.5 weeks. Depends on what my veg tents look like and when they're ready to be open, when they're ready to be going. But Daddy O Grows, thank you so much for rejoining the VIP, man. Really appreciate it. I have a 2x4 tent with 8 bulb, 2 switch T5, so you've got 4 bulbs and 8 bulbs. Could I start barter food or clones with this? How high would I need to run the light? So if you have a 4-foot light, the light always stays at 30 inches above the plants. If you're running the little 2-foot light, you can bring it as close to 6 inches if you want. But you can start with that. You can just take bulbs out. So even though you have a 2 switch, which controls 4 bulbs and 8 bulbs, a lot of times you can pull bulbs out. So you can flip 1 switch on, and it lights up 4. You pull 2 bulbs out, and then only running 2. And then you can add them back in as you go. Yo, GT, can't wait to give you some of my tax money. I'm excited for this. I appreciate it. Dude, the last 2 weekends in a row we've been doing taxes. I'm so glad we're done with them. We submitted them yesterday. We're done. Super excited. Hey, what's up, Clownfish? I like that name. Yo, better late than never. What up, Gio? That's a handsome shirt. Hey, Artful, it's got, speaking of the shirt, right? Hold on. Look, guys, there's Artful's name right there. It's on the Giants pillow, right next to the relax and focus. You help me name one of the strains, you get your name on the artwork. He came up with this name, Sleeping Giant, so he got his name in the artwork. You will forever be immortalized in some of GT's artwork. GT, how long do you veg before you usually flip to flower? It's going to vary depending on plant count and size of the tent. So if I'm flowering 4 plants in a 2x4, I'm probably only going to veg about 3 weeks before I flip them into flower. If I'm vegging 1 plant in that same 2x4, I might have to go 6 to 7 weeks, and that's probably 6 weeks before I flip to flower. And of course, it ranges per tent because your goal is to get to 50% floor coverage of your flowering tent space. So if I had a veg area that was a 2x4, but I had a flower area that was a 4x4, so we got 8 square feet available in the 2x4, and we got 16 square feet available in the 4x4. That means I need to fill out completely my 2x4, because if I fill out my 2x4 completely, just plants, that means I have covered 8 square feet of ground, which is exactly 50% of my 4x4. So now I've filled out my 2x4. I can take my plants, put them in my 4x4, and I immediately know that they are ready to go into flower because I have covered up 50% of the floor. I can immediately scrog them out, flip them to flower, go like that. On the other hand, if let's say I only have 1 space available, I just have a 5x5. I got a 5x5 and I've got 6 plants in there. It's probably going to take me 5 to 6 weeks to get 5 to 6 plants, 6 plants up to 50% of my floor space before I can flip them in flower. So the question is really, what size is the tent? Do you have multiple areas? How many plants are you going to run? What size pots are you going to run? That all has to get factored in whenever you're trying to decide how long you're going to stay in veg. I have mostly full bag of ocean forest that's been taped shut for about a year. It's still good. Now they really start degrading after about 6 to 8 months. Can you still run it? Yeah, but you're probably going to have to supplement with some slow release dry amendments or synthetic. That's a handsome shirt. Just something about it. I really think the shirt, really what kicks it off is the artful name right there on the pillow. Oh, man, back to work. Chip! Thanks for hanging out with me, buddy. I appreciate it. I made it. What's up, Smoke? Tardis is in here. What's up, buddy? My dilemma: brighter light raised high, dim light hung low. I'd rather have the brighter light up high. I don't like my lights being close, especially if I'm running LEDs. I want them as far away as possible. I have some 4-month-old plants that I'll be moving outside mid-April in Phoenix, Arizona late. They are in 5-gallon pots. I will be moving them in and out of the brutal sun. Any tips? Yeah, you're going to need to look up a process called you need to harden them. So anytime you're taking plants that were inside and you need to move them outside, there is a dedicated process to doing this, because if you just take, I don't care if they're 4 months old, if you just take plants that are inside and you move them outside, a lot of times they'll die. So look up a process called hardening, and that's what you need to do. It's like 1 hour in the sun, then you bring them back into the shade for a week, and then the next week it's like 3 hours in the sun, then you move them back into the shade. I have one plant in a 3x3 on week 6. It's about ready. Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, when you're running them outside, put them as big as pot possible, like a 10-gallon minimum. What causes the nose to be asymmetrical? So a lot of times whenever a seed's coming out, they will be symmetrical, where it's like nodal space, nodal space, nodal space. But then as they grow up and out, or when you take clones, what you'll notice is they do this: nodal space on this side, nodal space on this side, nodal space on this side. It's just part of the way the plant grows. Whenever the branches start getting out and elongated, they will start stacking like that. Nothing you can do about it. Valuable info right here, folks. Hey, man, I try my best. I didn't know that about the dirt. Yeah, the dirt, the stuff, because you remember the stuff that's in there is living, and so it will actually start breaking it down. I don't ever have that problem because we run through so much dirt here. Having 54 plants in the basement, it's going to happen. Oh, what's up, Robski? There's my bud. How's it going over there on that side of the pond, brother? GT, dude, we've been live every day this month so far. So this is our 10th day in a row of going live or dropping a video. We're going live or dropping a video every day in February. This week will always be about 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central time for this week. Last week it was at 9:30. It's 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. So we've been going live or dropping a video every day for the month of February in celebration of our collab with Dark Horse and Ragnarok going live this Friday, the Ragnarok merch going live this Friday. So you make sure, I don't know if I've told you, it's a really, really good time to come over and join our group membership page. I don't know, there's a lot of really cool benefits over there. Tell me us with WTTGT. And if you don't know how to find us, try Google. Hey, what's up, Canna Nana? Woo! I do 15 gallons outside. Yeah, you can't. The bigger, the better outside. You ever grow HPS? Yeah, fuck yeah. We used to have to run ACs. I fucking hate growing with HPS. It works well. I don't like how hot it is. I just want to say your videos have helped me out so much in the last year. Look forward to learning new things with every video. Woo! Hey, Peter. That's why I make them, brother. Glad you like it. Is there a package date on the bag of soil? They might have it on there. I just kind of figure by the time it gets to the store, they're about, a month old, and then I kind of work off that. Have you ever reused your dirt? Yeah, of course. So if you're ever going to reuse your dirt, I always let it dry out. I remove all the other material from it, and then I re-amend it with like something like Gaia Green. Once again, doesn't matter which brand you use. Just put a slow release dry mem in there, mix it back up. I usually add some more perlite, worm castings, stir it all up, throw more diatomaceous earth in there, and let it sit for about, 3 weeks. 6 p.m. in the UK. Nice. Oh. Early live today. Yeah, this whole week's going to be the same time. Yeah, there's usually like a black stamp on the bag. Biochar works great. Using Arizona, Whole Foods only, no processed BS. Oh, nice. I got about 10 more days before I chop my ladies. Growing in cocoa, corn, should continue CalMag and pH until the very end. No, CalMag, I actually cut off CalMag at the end of week 3 flower, and then I switch over to my Mag Sulfur product. So what you'll notice about CalMag and Mag Sulfur is they both have mag in it. There's only one different ingredient. One of them has calcium, and one of them has the sulfate in them. So the plant only needs the calcium in major amounts until it's done with the stretch. That's why we feed the CalMag up through week 3. The plant needs mag the whole time. That's why you got the mag in CalMag and in the Mag Sulfur product. The plant needs the mag the whole grow. But what it doesn't need is it doesn't need calcium. It doesn't need the sulfate because that's a bulking agent before the end of the stretch, which the bulking phase starts at week 4, which week 4 is really transition week. The main part of the bulk is week 5 through week 7 of flower. But it doesn't need the calcium after the stretch is over, because once the stretch is over, it's going into the bulking phase. The calcium is a super micronutrient the plant barely uses any of, and there's plenty of it in the soil. But it does need the mag throughout the whole time, and it does need the sulfate. So from weeks 4 through the end of week 7, we give them the Mag Sulfur, and the CalMag goes back up on the shelf until the next grow. I'm going back to look at the dates on my bags. I'm happy to learn this information. Yeah, because it actually degrades. So what you want to do, a cool experiment, is take your soil that you have when you first get it. This is how you figure it out. But take your soil when you first get it and do a ppm runoff test through it about a week after you put a plant in it. Then that's the true number, and check your runoff. Now take that same bag of soil and throw it in the corner. Don't touch it. Don't open it. Don't do nothing. And leave it sit for like 6, 7, 8 months, and then test it at 6 months, see where it's at. It should be pretty close to the same, maybe 100, 200 ppm down. Then test it again in a year and watch. It'll be half the amount of ppm available that it used to be. This is how I figured out, because I actually had this exact thing happen with a bag. You got any PFG2 left? Yeah, we got a ton of it left. Plus, we got PFG3 that should be dropping in the later part of the summer, like the way later part of the summer. But we got Cash Gen 2 that's good. It should drop around 420. And we got Ragnarok coming out this week. It's a great time to hang out with us at WTTGT. The fabric pots that much better than the plastic ones. No, they both have their ups and downs. I like transplanting, and I personally like the plastic pots better. The entire time I'm in veg, I'm in plastic pots. The entire time I'm in flower, I am in fabric. Watering in fabric or in glass and plastic pots is easier. It doesn't run out all the time like ridiculousness like in the fabric pots. But like transplanting is easier in the plastic pots. You just go plunk and pull everything out. With the fabric pots, you got to try and work it to get out of there because the roots all grow into it. So they both have their pluses and minuses. You will never hear me say one is better than the other. You just have to slightly adjust your grow one for the other. So, so glad to see you back. Hope you to get back on track since the apparent Patreon cancellation. Hey, Pull Tab, thank you so much, brother. I've actually built my own website now that is pretty much, it's basically we built a Facebook for growers, and you can come hang out with us at WTTGT. And just, I imagine you can find that. You can find us if you put it into Google. And yeah, come hang out with us. All the same benefits, virtual calls, just like we're doing right now. And if you join any of the ones with VIP stuff, you get lots of free stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Is anything dropping going to be feminized? Almost everything is. Every once in a while, like once every 2 years, I'll do a regular drop just for the people that ask for it. I think like this was our last regular, was the Sleeping Giant, and that was back in 2023. And then the one we did before that was I think in 21, which was the Pineapple Express. We got JCK in there somewhere too. Pineapple Express might have been 2020. I don't know. It's been a few years. But we don't do very many of them. I'd say 95% of everything is Fem. Oh. Yeah. The only downside is WR, you have to test the same bag, because I've had bags where they were brand new and I tested them, they were only 800 ppm. And then I've had bags that were brand new that were 4,000 ppm. So unless you knew what they were when they started, the numbers won't mean anything. Yeah, it's going to be a while in JCK cross. I mean, it won't be terribly long since it's regulars. It does come quicker, but you're probably, the JCK Blue Dream cross is probably, I would say July or August. I'm not sure yet, but it's probably mid to end summer. And then right after that is PFG Super Grape Gen 3. And then we've got Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer Gen 2. I've already had somebody message me trying to get all of it and to not release it. I told them to go fuck themselves. What's the cross for Ragnarok? That is Cherry Atomic Sledgehammer, cross with Bruce Banner Gen 3 or S3 from the guys at Dark Horse. You'll notice that the freebies are given out to create hype, so that whenever they do drop and they're not free anymore, people really like them. It's the purpose of the freebies. They are hype creators. We are doing Blue Dream crossed with JCK. I just thought, I was like, oh my God, you imagine JCK puts me to sleep for 3 hours. Imagine if we add Blue Dream to it. I'm going to be out all fucking day. So what you're saying is you should definitely buy a t-shirt or two every release. There is no limit on the amount of different $30 orders you can put in. Let's put it that way. Because every order over $30 comes with a free gift. Whatever that would be. Maybe it's a keychain. All right, dude, it took me 4 months. Whenever I ordered my filters from the Grow Boss, it took 4 months to get them. Hey, what up, Scott? Rocking that Spartan shield all the way over there in motherfucking Scotland. Great chat. Heinz, thank you. I appreciate you hanging out. I think it's great that you're hanging out with me. Make some edibles for Ricky. Dude, Ricky got so fucking fucked up last 420. I was fucked up for 2 days because my edible guy didn't tell me just eat a piece of fucking cookie. He just gave me a cookie in a fucking bag, nothing on it. Just fucking, I was like, ah, great. And the other thing was, we did the all-day 420 live stream, which will be coming up again this year. Ricky GT will make his fucking appearance. So I'm super stoked about that. We always have a lot of fun on 420. We give away a ton of shit. It costs me a lot of money because Ricky goes ham with the fucking giveaways. But there was no instructions on the fucking cookie. He didn't say, hey, just eat a fourth of this fucking cookie. No, he just said, here's a cookie. Have fun with it. So I figured, what the hell? I can't smoke on screen. Why not just eat this regular normal cookie from the store while I was hanging out on stream all day, not paying attention to how much I was eating? I ate the whole cookie in like 3 hours. And apparently that was like eating fucking 15 edibles. All I know is I was fucked up all day. By hour like 6 of the live stream, I couldn't read the fucking chat anymore. It was like in the threes. And yeah, I was by the hour 6, I was so fucked up I couldn't read chat anymore. And all I know is I was fucked up the rest of the day. I went to bed and I woke up the next day and I was still fucked up. I was like, oh no. Like, you know, you can tell when you wake up and you're still fucked up. You're like, fuck. You know, if you're gonna get fucked up. I just couldn't focus on anything. You know, the chat on 420s. You know, we usually have 500 or 600 people there. You're moving so fast, I couldn't read anything. But I was so fucked up. Like, being fucked up in the morning is fine, as long as you wake up sober and then chose to get fucked up. When you wake up fucked up, like you wake up and you're like, oh wait, everything still feels weird. I like it. I like to wake up, like be like, oh yeah, it's a normal day, then apply. I don't like waking up like everything still feels like I'm in a dream. Will Ricky GT make an appearance this month at all? Maybe. I would say don't count him out this Friday, February 14th, pre-sale merch day. I would say count on Ricky GT hanging out with everybody this Friday. I don't know for sure. Word on the street. I'm not positive. You know, I'm not positive. Word on the street is Ricky might be showing up this Friday. What do you want me? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Ricky might be in the house this coming up Friday. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's the message I'm getting from his people. They've been talking to my people. I don't know. Ricky might be hanging out with y'all this Friday. I ate a 200 milligram edible last week. I think that's what, if we added up this cookie, I think we're probably somewhere like right at 200 or just above it. And I ate it in the 3-hour time period. So I remember I was just starting to get fucked up and I had like 3/4 of the cookie. I can't ever get into the spliffs, man. I don't want the tobacco. Maybe if it was like non-poison fucking tobacco, I could get into it. But I just can't. All the carcinogens and shit they put in them, I can't get into the tobacco anymore. Cooking with PFG is no joke. Yeah, you're looking for a good time right there. Harvest time for me is in about 3 weeks. Any tips on butter making? Last 2 batches were night and day different from each other. The biggest thing I'd say is make sure you decarboxylate your stuff, and then maybe the edible story has me laughing. Dude, I was fucked up. I was so fucked up I couldn't read. Like, I could not read the chat. It was like every line of chat was 3. I couldn't bring them together. Like, some of the letters were up here, some were down here. I couldn't squish them back down into one line. It was like, I was like trying to read. I was like, I can't even read the chat anymore. Hey, what up, Mikey? The biggest thing I would say, look into getting, like, the Levo 2 machines work really, really well. Like, I have a buddy that all he does is make edibles for a living. He has 7 Levo 2 machines that run down his counter. Look into something like that to make your butter. It works great. You can literally just apply the amount you want, add the whatever mixture you want to mix it into, whether it's butter, oil, whatever you want to do, and it will make it for you. It will make the concentrate for you. Cooking with PFG is no joke. Cooking with JCK was on another level. Like, I was comatose for 5 hours. Like, we made stuff with just JCK Keef. It was a mistake. Like, it was a mistake. Keep Ricky GT away from the Secret Grow. He's got his eye on it. Dude, the Secret Grow. I mean, we're upstairs. So the Secret Grow is about 30 foot that way. So my nephew's been getting it right now and just showed him my Spartan belt. Nice. He flipped his lid over it. Sweet. That was a really cool prize. The other prize for the grow is right back here. It's on the floor. Oh, crap. What time is it? That's an hour. All right, boys. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Freaking love you guys all hanging out with me in my chat. Remember, guys, if you ever thought about hanging out with me more, you can find us over at WTTGT. If you don't know how to get there, you guys are all internet sleuths. I'm sure you can find it. Guys who know how to get there, just, I don't know, maybe good luck. Try and get to it. Remember, guys, we got our merch drop is happening this Friday, the pre-sale. You get one chance and one chance only to get merch. I only do designs 1 week at a time, and then I never release that design again, ever, no matter how much you want it. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if you want, come hang out with me tomorrow. We'll be here on this same bat channel at the same bat time. All right? 11:30 Central, which would be 12:30 Eastern, which is like 10:30 Pacific. But we're hanging out at the same time every single day this week. Hope you guys will come hang out with me more. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here.